What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. 27th of January we're in right now. Still no signings in or out, and another one has bit the dust today in Adama Traore, as Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Adama to Barcelona, done deal, and here we go, loan with option to buy, not mandatory, for 30 million euros plus bonuses, and Barca will cover 100% of the salary until June. And that just represents more misplanning from Tottenham Hotspur in this transfer window. And it's just so annoying, isn't it?
It's weird seeing a transfer being done so quickly. Never seen that before in my life. Maybe I'm in my Tottenham bubble, but
yeah, maybe. I think that's most definitely the case.
That's probably it, isn't it?
That's most definitely the case.
I didn't realise it was in the rules that you can do transfers so quickly. That's what Daniel Levy keeps telling us.
Yeah, I think Daniel Levy got a hold on you.
Yeah, probably. But fair play to Barcelona. They acted quickly. They wanted him. They got him over the line, and represents, as you say, Tottenham yet again slow to act on this deal. And we paid the price. He's gone to Barcelona now for all the world to see throughout this whole transfer window. It looked like he was going to come to Tottenham, and we're not even going to get him through over the line. Now we're apparently going to look at other options for right wing back. I don't know who we're going to sign, but Adama Traore, I was quite excited with him coming in, but I don't know why it's taken so late for Tottenham to kind of pull out of negotiations or whatever it was. Or apparently we were still in for him going into these last few days.
You know exactly why, because it's only been made apparent to us yesterday or today, apparently, that he's not comfortable at playing right wing back. And
just found out.
Yeah, we just found out just this week that he doesn't want to play right wing back. So
no point signing him then, is it?
What's the point of signing him?
So stupid. They must have known
that run our club, seriously.
They must have known ages ago. You don't bid for a player if you haven't spoken to him first about your intentions or whatnot. So it doesn't make any sense to me.
Does not make any sense. But let's move on. Talking about the right wing-back situation, Charlie Eccleshare says that Tottenham have alternative right wing-back targets but need to nail a deal and move Matt Doherty on in the space of a few days. So if this was the case for a new right wing-back, why wasn't that the case for Traore? I don't understand this whole dynamic going on here. And if we're looking for a right wing-back so desperately, and he was our priority from the start of the window, why are we only starting to look for one now?
Basically, in Levy language, that means Doherty's staying.
Yeah, and we're not getting a right wing back.
Yeah, basically, that's what it means. So
exactly,
look forward to that. Look forward to Doherty getting more game time in the second half of the season. Very, very frustrating. I think if you're really serious about improving the squad, you get a right wing back in, and then you freeze Doherty out. That's all you got to do. And then Doherty might be more willing to accept a lower move. And you get him, even if it's cheap, and even if you're losing money, you have to get him out the door, because he's not going to improve us. He's not going to get too much better than he is right now, Matt Doherty. And we have to make sure that we're improving the squad as much as possible.
He's not going to get much better. He's not going to get better at all. He's only going to get worse.
I mean, I think he can play better than he has been playing for us, like in his first season. But because he's playing our right wing back, but he's not going to get better. Mm-hmm. Like he's not going to improve us as much as a new right wing back could. So we know that for sure. And if Conte doesn't want him and doesn't trust him, then you've got to get a right wing back out. And even if it means leaving Doherty out of the squad, you leave him out of the squad.
Exactly. That's the way clubs that want to move forward deal with situations like that. Mm-hmm. That is the way it should go. But not when Daniel Levy's your chairman. That's not the way it can go. So anyway, that's the situation on the right wing back. So we're not any closer than we were 27 days ago to getting a new right wing back. Let's move on and let's talk about Luis Diaz. Quite a few updates to get through, and there's actually just been one from Fabrizio Romano in the last few seconds as of shooting this video. And he says Diaz is prepared to accept the move to Tottenham if both clubs can find an agreement, but Spurs are still far away from Porto's valuation of the player. Dan Kilpatrick says Spurs remain hopeful of sealing a deal for Luis Diaz before Monday's deadline. Ali Gold says, I keep hearing that George Mendes will be involved as some kind of intermediary with Porto in it all because of his relationship with both Paratici and Porto. If that is the case, then that might play into Tottenham's advantage. Ojogo says that Tottenham have not given up on signing Luis Diaz and are aware they must raise their offer to at least 60 million euros to enter negotiations with Porto. Record Portugal say that there is a real possibility that Liverpool will put in a bid for Spurs target Luis Diaz before Monday's deadline. And Sky Cava is saying that there's only £4 million difference between Porto and Tottenham in their valuations for Luis Diaz. So, yeah, it doesn't look like anything's moved on from yesterday.
Yeah, literally, it's classic rumours about whether he wants to come and the price difference and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, as I've said before, I want him to come. And I'm not that confident this deal is going to go over the line, just judging by our previous with these kind of deals. And I'm also not convinced that he's the signing that we're desperately needed in this squad. I've said that already. Like, if we sign him, what does that mean for Son? Does Diaz play on the right? Does Son play on the right? Like, I don't know what that means.
Son on the right and Diaz on the left.
I don't know. They're both right-footed, so
Son's more ambidextrous than Diaz, I think.
Yeah, I think he's got a better, weaker foot. But Son's definitely more comfortable on the left, though, isn't he? So whether that impacts how Son plays is also a thing.
In the 3-4-3 formation that we play, it's not actually like classic wingers, is it? It's more like number 10s that drift out wide a little bit here and there.
He calls them the number 10s, yeah.
But they play a bit more centrally than the classic wingers that we
Correct.
used to play. So it's a bit of a different situation.
A bit, but he's still going to be on the right, cutting on his left, isn't he? Son, if he plays there, so he's definitely a lot more comfortable on the left, cutting on his right. That's just how I've seen him recently. Like since he's been at Tottenham, he's a lot more comfortable in that position. I can't remember too many goals he's scored from the right hand side, but maybe he could adapt to it. But look, again, I'm going to have to wait and see if we actually agree a fee, and then if he actually wants to come. A lot of moving parts still in this deal. I reckon it just stinks of a deal that's going to be too complicated to complete before the deadline.
Yeah, of course. But in terms of what you were saying, in terms of he's not a priority position, which I completely agree with. I do completely agree with that. But when you look at it, and if there's an option to bring in a Diaz and you still haven't got your main targets through the door, I still would bring him in, because just to have a front three of Son, Kane and Diaz is frightening.
I agree. I know. I want him. I want us to bring him in because it improves our attacking options. It gives us another great option up front. It adds to our unpredictability, adds pace, adds quality. So I'm not going to complain. But all I'm saying is, if we're spending 45 to 50 million on a player, I find it weird that we're spending on a left winger right now when we have much more pressing issues. Even Bergwijn can play left wing on left, We've got Son, who's obviously one of our best players. He plays on the left. So spending 50 million on another player who plays on the left is a bit of a weird one. But I'm not going to complain, because I think he's a quality player and I'd love to see him through the door. But I don't know. It just to me, looks like a deal that doesn't make too much sense. In terms of priorities, and one that seems complicated from the outset to get done in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, spot on. Romeo Agresti has been talking about Weston McKennie, and he says Juventus refused to sell McKennie to Tottenham a week ago. McKennie and Locatelli are untouchable midfielders for the club, so that puts that one to bed if it wasn't already.
Yeah, that's a shame. It was never likely we were going to get him this month anyway, McKennie, as much as a lot of us would like to. So that one could be put to bed for now. Maybe we can revisit it in the summer. But these are the troubles when you're looking mid-season to sign players. It's a lot more difficult because clubs are a lot more reluctant mid-season to lose their players.
Yeah, especially a player like McKennie, who pretty starts week in, week out for Juventus. Let's move on. Tuto Mercato talking about Bryan Hill, and they say Valencia are prioritising a loan move for winger Bryan Hill. The talks between the two clubs are continuing over a potential deal. And if we do loan out a Bryan Hill, I guess that does make a bit more sense of bringing in another left winger.
Another winger. I mean, yeah, I guess, because we need numbers. Even with Bryan Hill, I think we need, with him staying, we need numbers. So I don't know if the two are linked, getting in someone like Diaz. I don't think you spend. Are you thinking of spending big money on Luis Diaz just because you're loaning out Hill?
No, I'm not saying we're going to bring him in just because we're loaning out Hill. But if we are loaning out Hill, then we're obviously Hill, because of our depleted squad with Son injured, Hill's been seeing minutes recently off the bench. So obviously Diaz is a much more better option, isn't it?
Oh, of course. Much better option.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't think the two should be linked. I'm hoping not anyway. I think at this moment in time, unfortunately, Vachel, a loan move's the best move for him right now, because I think he needs proper first team minutes to really adapt his game and move forward and come back to Tottenham a stronger player. So I'm all for this deal. But if we're not getting another forward, it does leave us a lot shorter than we already are. But
we can't get rid of him if we're not bringing anyone in.
But unfortunately, I don't think he was quite ready yet to make that step up to the first team on starting and us relying on him. That's the problem. So I don't know. Keeping him around also doesn't help too much, because you saw even against Morecambe, he just wasn't impacting the game enough.
He had a run against Chelsea.
Oh yeah, let's all replay that run against Chelsea.
Next one is Andrea Cambiasso. Glongari is saying that Spurs are interested in Cambiasso alongside Juventus, Inter, Atalanta and Napoli, but Genoa are keen to keep him until the summer. He's a player that I hadn't heard of before today. Predominantly plays at left back, has played at central midfield, left midfield and right back this season, so a very versatile player, but just another one like Amrabat. I just don't know much about him.
Yeah, me neither. But if he does play predominantly on the left back, doesn't make sense again though. This is what we're going for when we need a right back. We need someone who's a specialist, or not a specialist, like Adama wasn't a specialist, or someone who can play on the right wing back on a regular basis to compete with Emerson.
We need a round hole. We need a round peg to put in a round hole. That's what we need.
That's what we need. Yeah, exactly. So going for a left back doesn't make much sense to me either. We have Reguilon and Sessegnon who are doing okay right now. So that wouldn't make much sense to me either.
Yeah, well, nothing
about this window makes sense.
Nothing about this window, exactly. And the last but not least, Niall John has completed his loan move to Charlton Athletic for the remainder of the season. And yeah, League One, Charlton Athletic. So good luck to Niall John. I've been very impressed every time I've seen him play. So I'll be keeping a close eye on him in League One for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, he had a pretty good pre-season, I thought. Got some game time. So. And also, he didn't play against Passos. He started one of the game, although he wasn't great. I remember in the away leg.
Did he start?
I think he started under Nuno in the away leg against Passos. He wasn't great, but hopefully with some first team minutes under his belt with a good loan deal, he'll come back and probably need another loan deal next season, but hopefully impresses, and let's see what he can do.
Yeah. All right, so that is the state of play at the moment on the 27th of January. We will be keeping you updated as and when anything happens in this transfer window, if anything does happen in this transfer window. And I think it's safe to say that the anxiety of this transfer window has set in to this Spurs fan base in overdrive. So at the moment, it doesn't look good, but I guess all I can say is try and keep the faith and hopefully something will happen, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. But that is our Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news stories we brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.